Meera Gupta. Welcome back to online English classes. Today I am going to cover the next part from class 10th English First Flight book chapter 8 named Mizbil the Otter by Gavin Maxwell. Let's have some look on previous part. In earlier video, we had seen the narrator was very much upset on the death of his pet dog. After being lonely, he decided to keep another pet and he expressed this desire to his friend. Somehow, his friend managed and gifted an otter to the narrator. After getting, the narrator considered domesticating an otter as the beginning of a new phase of his life. Okay, now let's see the another part that containing from para 6. Para 6. The creature that emerged from this sack on the spacious tiled floor of the consulate bedroom resembled most of all a very small medievally conceived dragon. From the head to the tip of the tail, he was coated with the symmetrical pointed scales of mud armor, between whose tips was visible a soft velvet fur like that of a chocolate brown moon. He shook himself and half expected a cloud of dust, but in fact it was not for another month. I managed to remove the last of the mud and see the otter as it were in his true colors. Now see the difficult meaning. Medievally conceived here means an imagination of the Middle Ages. Okay. Now what happened? As soon as the narrator opened the sack, the otter came out on the tiled floor. He looked like a small version of the ancient imaginary creature, the dragon. He was completely covered in mud, and from beneath it, small patches of soft velvet fur could be seen. The fur resembled the skin of a chocolate brown colored mole. He shook himself to get rid of most of it, but it took another month of continuous cleaning and washing to bring out his actual color. Okay. Now see the next para, para 7. Mizbil, as I called the otter, was in fact of a race previously unknown to science and was at length christened by zoologist Litrogal Percipicillata maxwelli or Maxwell's otter. For the first 24 hours, Mizbil was neither hostile nor friendly. He was simply aloof and indifferent, choosing to sleep on the floor as far from my bed as possible. The second night, Mizbil came on to my bed in small hours and remained asleep in the crook of my knees until the servant brought tea in the morning. And during the day, he began to lose his apathy and take a keen, much too keen interest in his surroundings. Now see the difficult meaning. Christian here, that is named. Hostile means unfriendly. Aloof and indifferent means keeping a distance. Apathy here means absence of interest. And crook of my knees means soft inside part where you bend your knee. Okay. So see the explanation. The author named his pet Mizbil, or in short Miz. Mizbil belonged to a race of otters that had been recently discovered by zoologists named Litrogal Percipicillata Maxwell and was thus known as Maxwell's otter. It took the otter a little time to open up and get comfortable in his new surroundings. He was at a distance on the first day, slapped with narrator and his body lying on the crook of his knees on the second, and began to know his surroundings better on the third day. Now see the next para 8. I made a body belt for him and took him on lead to the bathroom, where for half an hour he went wild with joy in the water, plunging and rolling in it, shooting up and down the length of the bathtub under water and making enough slosh and splash for a hippo. This, I was to learn, is a characteristic of otters. Every drop of water must be, so to speak, extended and spread about the place. A bowl must at once be overturned, or if it will not be overturned, be sat in and splashed in until it overflows. Water must be kept on the move and made to do things. When static, it is wasted and provoking. See the meaning? So as to speak means as it were, one could say this. Provoking here means causing anger or some other reaction. Plunging here means falling or sinking. Splashed means splashed. And static means motionless. So what happened? Narrator Gavin made a belt for the otter just like dogs have, to take on the lead wherever they went. When he first took the otter into the bathroom, he discovered that Miss Bill liked playing with water. He would jump and roll in water like a hippopotamus did. This was a characteristic of otters to get inflated with still water. So they played with it and splashed it till the last drop in the bowl or bucket. Otters liked moving water, and when Misville saw still water, it seemed that he got angry and would sit in it, splash it, and try to overturn it from the bowl. Okay, now see the next part, para 9. 2 days later, Misville escaped from my bedroom as I entered it, and I turned to see his tail disappearing round and bend up the corridor that led to the bathroom. By the time I got there, was up on the end of the bathtub and fumbling at the chromium taps with his paws. I was amazed. In less than a minute, he had turned the tap for enough to produce a trickle of water, and after a moment or two achieved the full flow. He had been lucky to turn the tap the right way. On later occasions, he would sometimes screw it up still tighter, now chittering with irritation and disappointment at the tap's failure to cooperate. Okay, now see the difficult meaning. Fumbling here means trying to do something in a clumsy manner. Trickle means flow in a small stream. Chittering here means make a twittering or chattering sound. And chromium means a hard white metal used to make taps. Okay, so what happened? Soon after, the otter became acquainted with the place. He escaped alone to the bathroom and tried opening the tap with his paws. Surprisingly enough, he managed to open the tap enough to get a trickle of water, and then more to get the full flow, since he started by turning it in the right direction. On other occasions, he would twist it tighter by moving it in the wrong direction, and ended up being disappointed when water did not flow from it. Okay. Now see the next para 10. Very soon, Miss would follow me without a lead and come to me when I called his name. He spent most of his time in play. He spent hours shuffling a rubber ball around the room like a four-footed saucer player, using all 4 feet to dribble the ball. And he could also throw it with the powerful flick of the neck to a surprising height, and distance. But the real play of an otter is when he lies on his back and juggles with a small object between his paws. Marbles were Me's favorite toys for this pastime. He would lie on his back, rolling two or more of them, and down his white, flat belly without ever dropping on the floor. Now see the difficult meaning. Flick. Flick here means a quick light movement. Shuffling means dragging. Dribble here means repeated hits on a ball to make it go ahead. Pass time here means distraction or entertainment. Now listen the explanation. Soon the otter learned to follow the otter without a lead. It used to come to him when he called his name. Miss was very fond of playing. He would spend most of his time playing with a ball, dragging and pushing it throughout the room and going after it. Otters are generally known to be fond of lying on their backs and juggle with objects between the paws. Similarly, Mies loved engaging himself with marbles and never dropped one on the floor. He would take two or more marbles and roll them on his wide flat stomach. Okay, now see the next para 11. The days passed peacefully at Basra, but I dreaded the prospect of transporting Miss to England and to California. The British airline to London would not fly animals, so I booked a flight to Paris on another airline and from there to London. The airline insisted that Miss should be packed into a box not more than 18 inches square to be carried on the floor at my feet. I had a box made an hour before we started. I put Miss into a box so that he would become accustomed to it and left for a hurried meal. Accustomed here means familiar, and dreaded the prospect here means was in a great fear of something that would happen in the future. Okay, now see the explanation. After a peaceful time at Basra, it was now time to take Misville to England, and the author was anxious even at the thought of travelling with him. British Airline refused to allow animals along with. So, he booked with another airline which insisted on Miss being carried in a box not more than 18 inches square. It was not a direct flight from Basra to England. They had to first fly to Paris and then to London. Just as the airline demanded, narrator put Miss in a box an hour before so that it got enough time to be comfortable and left for a quick meal. Now see the next para 12 and the last para of this video. When I returned, there was an appealing spectacle. There was a complete silence from the box, but from its air holes and chinks around the lid, blood had trickled and dried. I wiped off the lock and tore open the lid, and Miss, exhausted and blood spattered, whimpered and caught at my leg. He had torn the lining of the box to shreds. When I removed the last of it so that 10 minutes until the time of the flight and the airport was 5 miles distant, I put the miserable Miss back into the box, holding down the lid with my hand. Now see the difficult meaning. An appalling spectacle here means a shocking scene. Wiped off means quickly took off. Trickled means drip or flow, and shred here means pieces. What happened at that time when he has decided to bring that pet with him? After the meal, narrator faced what he feared the most. The box was steel and blood was dripping out of its ear holes. He panicked and opened the box only to find the inner lining torn by frightened maze. The narrator removed every piece of the sharp metal lining and cleaned the box. Till the time everything was back in place, it was only 10 minutes left for the flight to take off and they had to cover a distance of 5 miles. Gavin, the narrator, placed Miz in the box and closed the lid with his hand lest he should escape. Okay, now here we have ended this part. I hope you understood the story, and next part will be continued in next video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.